Great opportunity on our home court against a tough Texas A&M ball club. Obviously, preseason-wise, they were one of the top teams picked in our conference. We can see the shuffling taking place. So this game for them, as they embark or enter it at a 4-4 conference record, is one that hopefully, in our favor. But you can understand the mindset of a program coming on the road who's trying to get in the positive when it comes to their schedule. So second time we've played them, we're going to go out there and give our very best, no different than we've done in the past. It was an unfortunate game on the road. Our guys did a great job, held them to 28% from the field, 22% from three, 75% from the free throw line. A game that in all telling signs, you come out with a road win, but we wasn't able to close it. We sent them to the line 37 to 40 times, and we got to do a better job not fouling.
All right, questions? Anything in particular from the last time you saw these guys that you're particularly stressing to your guys to apply in the second meeting?
Well, I think ultimately just being able to, put together an unbelievable body of work. We got out to a great start, had stops, don't get discouraged. If that foul count or if even plays don't go our way, the ball can bounce another direction, but continue to stay with our game plan for 40 minutes, no different than we did down there. We just want to give ourselves a chance to win the game. And we got to do that not looking at the last 2 minutes, but looking at every possession that's in front of us, ending the half in a situational advantage where we're able to read the game and understand halftime, right? End of the half. And then the same way, coming out in the first half with an unbelievable determination, but also focus, executing the game plan no matter the adversity we face, but continue to go through the entire game plan how we need to.
Is the second half of SEC play an opportunity for you guys to kind of look at kind of the same way you did at the start of SEC play? It's kind of like a new season, records can go out the window.
Yeah, absolutely. Today I spoke about going 9-9, right? How do we want this second half to go? You can't control certain things that has already happened, but how can you move forward? But you can't just get all 9 wins. You have to start with one. You have to start with winning each practice each day and obviously looking in the mirror first. So that's what our guys are going to do. That's what we're accustomed to doing. Our guys are going to give their very best, and we're going to stay connected while we're doing it.
Coach, I wanted to ask you kind of your reaction to the news about Dickie Nutt, and then also kind of how have y'all handled the toll that can take on everybody's mental health?
Well, I think when you're honest with your team, when you're honest with young people, which we've been honest with our team from day one, Coach Nutt has done a tremendous job communicating not only with me but our administration throughout this process, and he's not going through it alone. We've made contact with his family and obviously staying in communication with him. It's just a right now small setback with some encouraging news, right? There is light at the end of the tunnel as it relates to him getting back in great health, but during this time the focus isn't about basketball. It's about him being able to get in best health as he moves forward, and he's going to do that. I think when it comes down to young people, being honest with young people, letting them know so it won't be a surprise is how we kind of approached it. So they knew as it relates to the transparency of the very first step, because that's the type of relationship we have with our guys, but also that's the amount of respect we want to raise for such a moment, especially when we talk about as coaches, the Coaches versus Cancer initiative, which Norm Stewart was right behind in starting as he battled cancer during his career. So we want our guys to know, always be aware, always talk to the trainer, doctors, and different things. If you see from the smallest bump or whatever it may be, just ask questions and be able to face that reality. And Coach Nutt knows that we love him. We're with him every step of the way. He's not alone in this. In fact, I just got a text message from him. So we're going to continue to support him.
Noah Carter seemed to kind of have a fire lit under him last week. How important is that for your group to have an energized Noah Carter moving forward?
Man, I'll tell you this. Noah Carter is doing a tremendous job, and where he's sort of expecting more of himself is the category of consistency. He's 29 for 100 from the three-point line, and that's not Noah Carter, right? But the ultimate part of it is he's getting great shots, wide open shots. I think with a minute and 40 or 2 minutes left in the Vanderbilt game, it was a wide open three that he pass faked. The defense jumped. He was wide open on the left wing, and it was just a wide open shot he couldn't make. And we've seen him make it over and over and over again. We got to get him to that foul line a little bit more, and maybe that'll open things up where he can see that basket or that ball go into that basket. In addition, from the 2-point field goal percentage, we got to raise that stat. He's missing some easy baskets around the rim that I think can give him more confidence. But we saw how he was able to start that last game, and we just got to put two halves together. And I thought he did that in different ways and took what the defense gave him.
As a team, are there some areas in the second half of SEC play where you guys are looking to improve but also build upon from what you had done in the first half?
Yeah, absolutely. We're always looking to sort of expand the assist to turnover ratio. At this level, you got to be able to turn those assists into reality. Last game, we had over 34, 35 assist attempts, meaning those are shots we created and some that we missed. And we got to be able to capitalize, and they were really good shots. So we want to stay in the positive. We want to stay in a single digit of turnovers. I would love to see us go under 7 turnovers in a game. I think that's when we're playing really well and we're knocking down some shots. I want to see us close to 20 assists in a game. I think when we looked at our stats and we've done that, we've created ourselves a great advantage. We have to be able to get to that free throw line. We're one of the best free throw shooting teams in our conference. We just don't get there enough. And we got to be able to force the whistle a little bit. We're shooting 78%. It could be better. Some games we've gone 100%, but we're getting the right guys to the free throw line, and I think our guys are doing a tremendous job. The other aspect of it is we got to be able to hold guys to one field goal, especially when they're in runs or when we're in a run. We can't have our runs ended with a offensive rebound putback, right? The other team gets it, and then the other is fouling them and putting them to the free throw line. We have to make guys earn their right to get out of the run we've created. And those are things that I look at ultimately as it relates to the second half.
Coach, I wanted to ask a little bit about Caleb Grill. You talked about him on the Tiger Talk last
Yeah.
night. Is the expectation for him still to come back for this season?
Yeah, that's always the expectation for kids to come back when you know that there's an opportunity. But as soon as that opportunity is out that window or that window's closed to such, we make that announcement. And we started with Caleb Brown. We knew what type of injury he had. Then we knew, as it relates to John Tonjay's injury, where we could have possibly turned the corner without sacrificing a full year of his play. And we had to obviously make that decision, a tough decision, but we had to make it because we hadn't saw or seen the right amount of progress that needed to take place, especially when he was able to get into some games and we crossed the threshold of number of games could be playing before a sort of red shirt opportunity. The same with Caleb Grill. He's out of the window where the scar is healed and everything else, but the range of motion is where it's a tough thing to provide. I think when you have a lack of range of motion, whether it's in your ankle or any other extremity, you have to be careful because the game is impactful. He can fall, and if he fell again without the right range of motion, it can cause stress on another part of his arm, and now we got a bigger problem. So you don't want to put a kid in that situation, and you want to kind of read it the right way. Conditioning-wise, he's not there where he needs to be for games. But as it relates to what he's been able to bring, he's been able to bring his basketball IQ, his communication. He's been able to consistently do weight training things, and that's still modified because the amount of weight that he can endure on that wrist isn't the same on the other side. So you just got to just take the doctor's orders on it and kind of just take it for what it is and then see what can be done. I guarantee you this, if basketball wasn't played with both hands, he probably would be able to play. If it was played where you can put a cast on like some football players, Caleb Grill will be out there. But in this game with a cast, it'll be impossible for him to play, but also it can hurt someone else. So we're just going to read it day by day and week by week.
Coach, would he be possible to redshirt? Would it be something you'd try? I think you played in that 9th game. I don't know how the math is, but I know it's really close. Is that something you'd explore if he's unable to come back?
Yeah, if Caleb Grill is unable to play at all this year, he can qualify for a medical red shirt. So right now we have not had those discussions with him at all because I don't want to hinder his progress coming back. So for him, it's not on the table. We've not discussed it. We want him to obviously work his way back to full recovery, and the timeline of full recovery, because that injury is in a place where the blood flow is limited, is putting us in this position of healing. Trent Pierce the same way. Trent, he's conditioning now. We're just playing it by ear to see what it looks like as it relates to him getting back in shape, especially after being in the condition he was with that ear infection, but also the virus.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thanks, MIZ.